I'm Courtney Kibitza with Stalls. Varsity jackets are a staple in school apparel. Traditionally, they've been decorated with embroidery or chenille patches. The reason for this is because they have multiple print locations that are unique to every jacket, and they're also made of a fabric construction that is traditionally difficult to print with other print technologies. Today, we're going to take a look at new Varsity jacket styles that are on the marketplace that are made of a cotton polyester base. These jackets are more lightweight, so they allow decorators to print them with different print technologies like heat printing. Today, we're going to look at how to print these with special effects so you can begin to increase your sales by printing more jackets and offering more options to your schools and customers in everyday wear. Let's take the jacket over to the heat press and take a look on how to print these jackets. Before we get started heat printing the Varsity jacket, let's take a look at the different prints that are traditionally found on this style of jacket. For Varsity jackets, you'll traditionally find 6 different prints throughout the entire jacket in the unique locations. Usually the name of the school, the name of the activity, and some form of clip art that's showing the activity. In addition, you'll find additional clip arts for more activities. Maybe they're also involved in softball or volleyball, the year that they're graduating or the player number, the name of the athlete, the letter of either the school or the varsity letter. This is where the letterman name got for the jacket. And then also some kind of insignia that shows that either they're a varsity member or how many years they've been playing on the team. So we're going to use these prints to print throughout the entire jacket in the unique locations. Let's get started with the application now. To start, when you print these types of jackets, there's a variety of areas that could get into the way and cause inaccurate pressure, such as the snaps or the pockets and the high seams. So to avoid this and make it one easy application, I'm actually going to thread the garment on using a heat printing pillow on top of my heat press. That's going to allow me to minimize some of the bulk by threading it. This allows all of the seams, snaps, and pockets to fall down into the pillow during the application. Use a cover sheet to give it a quick preheat. I am using a cover sheet just to protect the metal snaps from scratching the top of the heat press. Once I have about 3 to 5 seconds for the preheat, I can start my full applications. To get started for the front of the jacket, I'm going to use a left chest logo. And then also the letter on the right. These jackets have up to 6 print locations on the front of the jacket. So you have the left and right chest, the left and right pocket, as well as the 2 sleeves that we'll print shortly. In addition to this, I'm going to add just a small clip art to the pocket below here so that we can get just another additional print area on the garment and another way to show this material and what the athlete is part of. The product we're applying is CAD-CUT Glitter Flake for that bling finish, and it applies at 320 degrees for 10 seconds. Once that application is complete, I can peel back my carriers and then print the back of my jacket. So to print the back of the jacket, I'm actually going to take the pillow out and the garment off of the heat press and then just load it back on with a regular threading style. And this will allow all the snaps and the seams from the front of the jacket to now hang below the heat press. So I've got a nice flat print area and I no longer need that pillow. Now because I've taken the depth of the pillow out, I do want to double check when I preheat the back of the jacket and adjust my pressure to make sure I get an accurate pressure on the print. So I'm just using the over the center pressure adjustment knob to make those changes. Once I get to the proper pressure, I can apply the back of the jacket. Now the back of these jackets traditionally have up to 2 print locations, so the higher back, and you can also add a lower back placement. So you have the option to do one big print up here or a big Albert Gallatin at the top with cheerleading below at the bottom. Again, Glitter Flake applies for 10 seconds at the 320 degrees. Now that I have the back completed and the front, I'm going to complete the look by printing the 2 sleeves of the jacket. Now to do this, I'm going to use a different interchangeable platen since I'm using the Hotronix Fusion heat press and it allows me to change those out. I'll just grab the gold knob underneath the 16 by 20 platen, lift it out, and then drop in my 6 by 20. This is a perfect platen if you want to print sleeves or legs of any types of items, and it'll make it great for this jacket. Now that I have that loaded, I'm just going to load the sleeve with my jacket on. Keep in mind, if you don't have the Fusion heat press or you don't have this platen, you can also use a heat printing pillow like we had done with the first application inside the sleeve to get an accurate print area. Now that I have that loaded on, I'm just going to give it a quick preheat and adjust my pressure if needed. Looks like I may need to give it a couple turns. I'm going to start by applying the year down onto the sleeve. Again, 10 seconds for CAD-CUT glitter flake. Peel back my carrier, and then I can flip the jacket over and print the other sleeve. Three to 5 seconds to preheat, and then finish it off for the full application. And this is actually just the chevron pattern that's really popular with varsity jackets to show the amount of years that they've been participating in that sport and that activity. Peel back one last carrier, and then I have a completed look. So as you can see, printing these types of varsity jackets is easy to do with your heat press and heat transfer materials like CAD-CUT glitter flake. Printing these jackets are going to offer a variety of new sales opportunities to you as decorators this fall with schools and spirit wear. So feel free to offer them in addition to your varsity jackets or your warm-ups to all of your teams and school members. To order or for more information on CAD-CUT glitter flake, visit stalls.com.